ever felt like our cities are losing their breath? Air pollution is no longer just a news issue but a real problem that we breathe in every day. Motor vehicles are the biggest contributor to emissions that damage air quality in urban areas. In the world of conservation, we're familiar with the concept of ecosystem restoration. We want to restore clean natural function amid the hustle and bustle of the city. One of the most popular policies is Car-Free Day or CFD. Almost every major city has one. The main roads are closed to vehicles for a few hours every weekend. But here is the big question. Does CFD actually make a significant difference for our environment, especially the air quality? Or is it just a fun time to hang out and eat street food? Well, this is where data literacy is important. In protecting nature, we can just feel our kids while the air seems fresher. That's called feeling, not science. In the world of conservation, every policy must have real evidence or be evidence-based policy to avoid mistakes. One very powerful method for testing this is paired sample t-test. This statistic will help determine whether the change in air quality at Simpang 5 is real or just a coincidence. How does it work? Let's ask Fitria Afi.
Thanks, Fernan. Now, let's discuss about the data. Why are we using a paired t-test? Because we are measuring at the same point in Simpang 5, but in two different situations. We collect data over 15 weeks, and the first data, or the pre-test, was taken on Sunday morning in 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock a.m. while vehicles are still passing by. And the second data, or the post-test, was taken at the same location, but during the peak of Car-Free Day in 8 o'clock a.m. This way, other variables like building location or the presence of vegetation around Simpang 5 are held constant. So, the difference of the number is purely because the presence or the absence of vehicles. Disclaimer guys, the data that show is data dummy or simulated for educational purpose and to illustrate about paired sample t-test. Before we test the data, we have to make an initial claims, which in statistics called a hypothesis. We prepared two opposing scenarios. First, we have hit zero or null hypothesis. This simply say that a Car-Free Day has zero effect. That means the pollution before and during Car-Free Day are exactly the same. Second, we have H1 or the alternative hypothesis. These states say that the pollution during the Car-Free Day are significantly lower. That means this program gives a positive difference for our air. Before continuing, make sure that the data are normally distributed. So, let's see the process. First, we enter the data before and during Car-Free Day columns. Click Analyze, then you can click Compare Means, and the last, you can choose a paired sample t-test. Move to the right-hand box and make sure that the confidence interval are 95%. Make sure that you click OK. So, how do we get the result? You can look straight at the final output. Rio, please explain.
take a look at this data. From 15 different observations, the average pollution score before 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. was 68.8. But during the CFD, it decreased significantly to 33.3. Now, if we want to find out if the difference is significant or not, then we must look at the significant two-tails value. In our output, it shows that the p-value is exactly 0.00. But how do we draw a conclusion from these numbers? Here's how we draw a conclusion. In statistics, if the p-value is less than 0.05, then we must reject the H0 or hypothesis 0. But if the p-value is greater than 0.05, then we must accept the H0 or hypothesis 0. In our case, the p-value is exactly 0.000. So we absolutely reject the H0. With that information, it is statistically proven that CFD program reduce the air pollution. So how does this relate to conservation value? Here's how. Our Earth has a limited carrying capacity. So just by stopping motorized vehicle for a few hours, it gives our city ecosystem a chance to breathe and restore its air quality. It's proof that small but real intervention make a huge positive impact on our environment. Statistics are more than just numbers. They guide us in formulating fact-based policy. With this information, we have a strong argument for expanding zero-emission areas to restore our urban ecosystem. So, let's take a real action from today. Real action doesn't always have to be big. A small habits like taking public transportation, cycling, and walking a short distance are a real contribution to the earth. Small, consistent steps will create a massive impact on our earth.
Data has proven that small policies like CFD make a big impact on the earth.
Statistics reveal what has been invisible.
Let's continue this zero-emission zone. Starting with data, we protect the air.
We're from Group 2. Thank you so much for learning with us today. Don't forget our action on Regal Sea for the future. Let's move for the clean air.
Group 2,
Co-conservation! Thank you!